And we've been joined by Memphis head coach Justin Fuente. As we said, the Tigers 0-1 overall. Memphis began their season this past Saturday against Duke. Duke won the game 28-14. This Saturday, Memphis takes the road. Tigers are at Middle Tennessee. That will be a 7 p.m. Eastern Time start on CSS television. Coach, thanks for joining us on the call this week. If you could take a minute to tie up the game against Duke, and then tell us what you're looking forward to as you take them to the road against Middle Tennessee, please.
Yeah, we had a hard-fought defeat against Duke. We had the game tied 14-14 in the fourth quarter. And like good teams do, Duke found a way to kind of grind out a victory. And I was proud of the way our guys played. Obviously, we've got to play better, but I think we're making strides in the right direction.
I know you word or two about Middle Tennessee, if you could.
Yeah, we're looking forward to going up there. Team we're familiar with. We played them last year. They are fast everywhere. Fast on defense, fast on offense. Should be a good football game.
Okay, we'll take questions for Coach Justin Fuente. Please hit *1 on your telephone to join the queue, and then the operator will introduce you. And we can go ahead with our first question, please.
Adam Sparks, Daily News Journal.
Morning, Coach.
How are you doing?
Real good. You said Middle Tennessee is fast on both sides. Can you be, they think they give up a lot in size, but is it enough just to be fast? Can you be effective with what they have?
Well, are you talking about defensively, or are you just talking about in general?
Both sides.
Yeah, well, the first thing that stands out defensively for their defense is the way they run. You know, I mean, they're a physical unit, but they fly to the football. You know, they're kind of a lot different than the team we just played. You know, they create a lot more movement defensively, and they're not quite as big as Duke, but they're pretty darn effective. You know, I think they've done a good job matching their scheme to their personnel, and they certainly do fly to the ball. Offensively, they've got some guys on the outside that can really go. They've got a quarterback that kind of runs the show for them and does a pretty good job distributing the ball out there, and then a little bit bigger tailback that they can plunge it up in there. But you know, their offensive line, I think if I'm not mistaken, they've got 4 of their 5 starters back, and a freshman, maybe the new guy is their center. But
Yep.
You know, they do a good job with you know, kind of playing to their strengths, and you know, they makes them pretty darn dangerous.
This is an in-state game. I'm curious to know if your team recognized this. I don't know the rivalry element of it, but an in-state game being a special non-conference game.
Well, I think so. You know, for us, you know, we're just kind of in a different deal right now. You know, we're building a football program. We're taking every game, whether it be Duke or Middle or Arkansas State or somebody in our league, you know, the same way. We've got to be at our very best in order to give ourselves a chance to win in the third and fourth quarter. So I don't know if you know, it is nice that it's an interstate game that obviously Middle's just down the road, so we're looking forward to playing that.
And lastly, we know Caron. We don't know Paxton that well in Murfreesboro. Will you stick with Paxton, and could you use both quarterbacks, or at least can you tell me a little bit of what Paxton does well?
Well, the thing I would say is, if I've learned one thing, it's never say never. So, you know, we'll do whatever we need to do to help give ourselves a chance to win. Paxton is a pretty darn good athlete. He sees the field pretty well. He's kind of a laid-back personality. Doesn't seem to get too bothered by too much. Obviously, he's got to play better, but he's our starter, so we're gonna put him out there and let him go. But I'm always going to stop short of saying that there's no way that anybody else will take snaps.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
You bet. Thank you.
We'll go next to Brian Moss, TigerSportsReport.com.
Hey, Coach. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
you talk about, I know against Duke, it took a little bit to get the run game going. When you take a look at middle, is that something that you can see that can be improved against middle at all?
Well, I'm hopeful. You know, we've got to be able to run the football to give ourselves a chance to win, to give our defense a break. So we better if we've got any plans on being in the game. You know, it's a different task. I mean, they defend the run differently than Duke did. Duke's much more of a big hold your gap type team. This is much more of a fast movement type defense. So it presents a different set of challenges that we've got to get ready for.
And how would you assess the young guys that played on offense? I know Warford got some carries, and Kraft got in there as well. What did you like about the young guys on your team?
Well, I think they're competitive. You know, I think they've showed some toughness, and they've got some talent. I'm looking forward to them continuing to progress as the season goes along. But you know, I think we were inconsistent. I think we were a little awfully excited to play last week, and maybe not as patient. And I don't know that we were so ramped up or jacked up as young guys to get out there and play. I think you know, we played a little bit faster than we needed to play instead of kind of playing within the game. So I'm hopeful that that'll get better, and those guys will continue to develop for us.
And then on third down, I know you guys were like, I think 2 for 13. Was it just the situations where it was like third and long, or what can you guys do to improve on third down?
Yeah, well, I think it was a little bit of everything. You know, it's just not running the ball well. You know, there's not a lot of threat to run it on third and long, and those guys can kind of pin their ears back because you are in third and long because you didn't run it very well on first and second down, and then, you know, you're not in those 50-50 down and distances. You're not in the 3rd and 3s or 3rd and 4s where you can run the ball and you have that threat. So we've got to get to third and a little bit more manageable, and then we've got to do a better job executing when we do need to drop back and throw it.
Good deal. Appreciate it. Good luck.
Thanks.
Do you have any other questions for Coach Justin Fuente, please? Coach, well, thank you for your time this week. Look forward to talking to you again next Monday.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. And that is Memphis at Middle Tennessee, 7 p.m. Eastern Time start on CSS.